Welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time, y'all, and I am so sorry, but I just went, so it is Christmas Eve, and I just went to a place called Blow, and they did my hair, everything, and it is pouring here. So afterwards I had to run to H-E-B really quick to get a couple of things. And so yes, I'm still wearing it. My husband's making fun of me, but too bad. Anyway, so we are taking the kids and my mom to a movie tonight, the new Migration. Fun fact, my mother thought when she saw what it was on my, my calendar, she wanted to know why we were going to see a National Geographic movie. And I told her it was not a National Geographic movie. Anyway, after that, she saw the cute little trailer for it, and now we're all good. But anyway, so I'm gonna start with this Paula's Choice, y'all. I have seen a lot of people using it, and I decided to try it. I absolutely love it. So I will continue to repurchase that. I mean, this really is the jam. I've had this now for months, and I use it every day. Ooh, hello. A little bit goes a long way, and I know it's like 20-something dollars, but y'all, it will last you. I'm assuming that this will get me through at least 6 to 9 months. So I do put that all over. So I usually wash my face, but I did take a shower earlier before I went to the hair place because I needed to like shave my body, and I had been cleaning all morning with the kids because I swear, like, those of you that have kids, like, you clean stuff and everything looks pristine and beautiful, and within a couple of hours you're like, oh my god, who invited the fraternity party into the house? Like, I don't get it. So anyway, that's where we are. So I needed to clean, and I smelled like garbage. Y'all, I started using this Tower 28. I love it. I have a lot of rosacea, and so it really does calm my skin. Oh, you know what? I just realized I totally forgot to take my medicine this morning. It's super important for me just because I am on blood pressure medication, but I'm also on Lexapro. Not ashamed of that. Took me a long time to go ahead and ask for help. Now I have it. I gotta make sure I take it. So down the hatch. Cheers. All right. So just to catch y'all up, we switched insurances recently because my husband got a new job. Great job. We're excited. But the only thing that sucks about this insurance is that they don't believe in covering weight loss medications. So I have now had to switch. So I've been on Wegovy. I've officially lost 40 pounds. And I need to continue it also because I have mentioned to my physician and like other people, there's a lot of other things that it helps with. It's not just weight. So, and for me, I think I've shared with people before that I have never had the feeling of fullness unless I have like gorged. So I was one of those people probably in elementary school. I started doing it where I would binge eat, and then throw up. So, but even binge eating, like I could eat and eat and eat and eat and never feel full. And so when I talked to one of the doctors about that, they said that that does happen with some people, that it's like they're almost born without that hormone or that chemical that tells you that you're full. And I'm potentially one of those people. So I love this medicine because it does allow me to feel that satiety, and it's been a game changer for me. But also it has helped my blood pressure. It has helped some of my depression symptoms. It has helped my IBS. I've told a lot of you I have IBS, that, I mean, literally those commercials you see where people are like everywhere sitting on a toilet, like that's my life. So, but this has changed that for me. It's absolutely incredible. So I'm just at a point. Also, I have something called idiopathic SVT. So I started having these issues when I was pregnant with Colton, and I ended up hospitalized because I was having, and basically for people who don't know what SVT is, it's supraventricular tachycardia. So your heart rate shoots way up into like the 200s. The problem is it's like for people that it continues, like mine just does it for a few seconds. And I can feel it because it literally takes your breath away. It's very weird. Don't know how to explain it, but I started noticing, so let me go back. People who have it prolonged, it gets to where your heart is beating so fast that it can't pump blood. And so luckily mine only does it for a few seconds. However, since I got on this highest dose of Wegovy, I have not had any more. Like I was having at least an episode a week, and they've done all the testing on me, all the echoes, the EKGs. I wore Holter monitors, all of that kind of stuff. And they saw like an episode of it on the Holter monitor, but there is nothing showing any kind of cardiac issues. So really we're just considering it idiopathic. So they thought that it was going to go away after I had Colton, but you know, he's 4.5 years old and I still have it. But again, it's very quick and it's not anything that's sustained. So I don't really worry about it. But I have not had those episodes while I've been on the highest dose of Wegovy. So anyway, just all of these additional benefits to this medication for me. I'm not saying it's going to be like that for everybody. Obviously, medication affects everybody differently. Like there's certain medications that work for some people, certain medications that don't. It is what it is. So, but this just works really well for me. I will tell you, you know, I used to be on the tirzepatide that was Saxenda. That did work for me a little bit, but this has worked way better, and it quelled some of my other side effects, or like my normal things, but this is just overall way more effective for me. So I'm not at a point where I want to get off of it. The first month after, when I hadn't seen my doctor yet, I again didn't want to miss a dose. So we had to pay out of pocket for it. It was $1,300. And so obviously that's not sustainable long-term, although my husband is great and he does know the benefits that it provides to me. So he told me that like if he needed to figure out how to make it long-term, like if we had to pay for that and that was our only option, it wasn't like he was going to figure it out. But anyway, we figured, we met with my physician, and she didn't like that either. So she went ahead and started me on the compounded version. So I have to go pick that up. Basically with the compounded version, they will be giving me the vial. So with the other ones, as you've seen my TikTok, they have the pens and they're already pre-filled. You inject it once a week. But with the compounded, they actually mix it themselves in the specialty pharmacy. And so it comes in a vial, and then I have to draw it up myself and inject it. For some people, that would be a huge turnoff, but for people who know me well, they know that I was on blood thinners, Lovenox, for a long period of my life because I suffered from blood clots many years ago when Christian was little, before I had any other kids. And so after that, with every pregnancy and every abdominal surgery, including my hysterectomy, and up to 12 weeks after, so all during 3 of my pregnancies and then 12 weeks after, and then same with my hysterectomy. When I had that, I always had to take Lovenox. So I'm fine with needles. I do remember the first time I had to take the Lovenox by myself, even though I was already a nurse. Like, having to do it on yourself is very different than having to do it on other people. But I will tell you, it made me a much better injector for my patients, because people who have never had to do that don't necessarily understand what it feels like. And so I would have patients that would actually request me to come and do it, because in the population I worked in when I first started nursing, they had to have, every single patient had to have Lovenox every day, usually twice a day, because they were all very high risk. And so I got to where a lot of the patients would request that I do it, because they would be sobbing, terrified, everything else, and I would give it and they were like, okay, I'm ready. And I'm like, it's done. But I remember one time too, the only way that we could get a patient to calm down was I actually showed her, because I had my big pregnant belly at the time, and I had to give myself an injection every day with my big pregnant belly. And so I actually showed her my belly with all of the Lovenox injection marks in there. And she was like, okay, if you do this to yourself with a pregnant belly, like, it's gonna be okay for me. And so that's how we got her through it. But so I feel like, you know, if I'm able to use my experience to help others, I'm all for it. So, all right. Let's pat this in some more. Okay. So now that I did this, I'm sorry if y'all hear my husband, like my kids are all fighting. This Huda Beauty cherry blossom whatever business is amazing. I love it. You know, I always wanted to get that Givenchy, the Prism Libre or whatever it's called, but I just didn't want to spend that. So I decided to use this as an alternative. Not saying that this is cheap, but it's less expensive than the Givenchy. And I'm absolutely in love with it. I will continue to repurchase this one. I used to use the Laura Mercier, but that one is hard to find. But I like the little pink undertone that this gives, because it is pink. But because I have a lot of redness in my skin, this really does help kind of neutralize that a little bit. So once I put that on, I do take what's left on here and I just kind of pat it everywhere to get all of the shine off. Just because I want to protect that makeup. Okay. So I will say, I did try Dibs after my sister let me borrow one of hers, and I have this one that is the number 3 stick. And it's okay. It was not my favorite. However, they came out with this version, and I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, I mean, this is the Starlet, but I can't remember what this version's called. But for some reason, I like it a lot better. I feel like the colors work better for me. And so, and also the thing doesn't roll down like the other ones do. So anyway, and it smells yummy. My sister says that the other one smells good too, but mine does not. I smelled this one because she was like, no, the other one smells good too. Mine does not. It smells like makeup. This one smells really good though. I don't know why. So I go in, I do it on the top up here. And yes, we're just going to the movies, but you know, sometimes I just want to look good for myself. You ever have those days when you just feel like, okay, so this pink is perfect for me. And I have been using that side. However, I've changed my routine up a little bit just because, and so I will show y'all in a minute. This is the Viral Patrick Ta blush. And so once we get this blended in, I will show you. See, like wearing this is like amazing because now I know I'm getting all the makeup on the cap instead of my hair. That's the really tough part about having blonde hair, is that you have to make sure, especially when you're doing all of this contouring and stuff like that, evening your color out, you have to keep it out of your hair because mine constantly, like people are like, why is your hair orange? Well, because I have all that makeup. So, and I just forget sometimes to like take a wipe or something and wipe it off. So Okay, so now I'm just going to go in with my dag nabbits, pesky hairs. Okay. So now I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced right here. This is the Chocolate Soleil. Y'all, I constantly am finding this at TJ Maxx. So I had always wanted it, didn't want to spend the money on it. And so now I buy it at TJ Maxx for like 10 bucks or something. So when I find it, I just go ahead and buy it, and I have it in like my backup because this stuff lasts so long. I've had this one for quite a while and I use it almost every day. Okay, just warming up my face here. Okay. So now what I have been using, and I know that this is going to look kind of nuts, but this is the Viral Patrick Ta, where you have the powder and then you have the liquid. This one's called She's That Girl, and y'all, I love this. So what I do is I take my little brush and I just put it right here. Highlight those cheeks. I got a little bit of that bronzer right there. It just didn't melt in very well. Okay. And then I put a little bit right there on my nose. Boop. Okay. Yes, I know y'all are gonna think it looks nuts. Now I take this one here and I just dab it here. And then I press this. And it just kind of seals that in and makes that color pop, okay? And now I know it looks kind of nuts, but this is why I keep my other blender out, because I'm just gonna take it and pat it over to kind of push it in, but also mute it a little bit. So see? Okay. Beautiful. I love this one, y'all. And just remember, like, even if there's too much on, there's always a way to fix it. So if you put it on and you're like, holy crap, that's nuts. There's ways to mute things down, tone them down, and that way you don't scare yourself, but you can still use the products that you love. Everybody's different, right? And I know when I first got that color, I was like, holy cow, like that is just not going to work for me. And then I did it that way and it's perfect. So, but I love having the ability to just put the powder on and then kind of seal it and make it pop with that liquid side, because it really sets it and makes it look good all day, which is great. And I'm not going to be like, obviously, I mean, I'm doing my makeup for long wear just because that's what I'm used to, but I don't really need it to last all day because we're just going to the movies. So, not anything, like it's not like I'm gonna be out partying all night or something. So, I do not like when that gets all messy. These winter months are hard because color match is not easy. I don't know if y'all have these issues too. Anyway, all right, so here are my brows.